On the morning of October 23, 1944, a fleet so vast it could barely fit into the Leyte Gulf began to take shape. The sheer scale was unprecedented. Over 200,000 personnel were about to engage in what would become the largest naval battle in history. This wasn't just another skirmish, this was Operation Sho-Go, Japan's last-ditch effort to counter the American invasion of the Philippines. The stage was set for a battle that would decide the fate of the Pacific theatre. But what made this battle so pivotal? It wasn't just the numbers, though with more than 200,000 personnel involved, it was already monumental. No, the significance lay in the strategic choices and tactical maneuvers that would unfold over the next few days. This battle would significantly weaken Japan's naval power and secure the Allied invasion of the Philippines. The stakes were high. For the Allies, a victory here could mean a swift end to the war in the Pacific. For Japan, it was a desperate gamble, their last chance to turn back an overwhelming force. And so, as dawn broke on that fateful October day, history's largest naval battle began to unfold. The sheer size of the Leyte Gulf battle is almost incomprehensible. Think about it this way. If you were to line up every single person involved, they would stretch for miles. This wasn't a clash of ships, it was a collision of armies. And as submarine action began in the Palawan Passage on October the 23rd, the first tremors of what was to come started to reverberate through the Pacific. But why did this battle become so significant? Partly because it marked the first major use of kamikaze aircraft in combat. These were not just planes, they were weapons of desperation, piloted by soldiers willing to give their lives for a cause. This new tactic would forever change the landscape of naval warfare. The Battle of Leyte Gulf lasted from October 23 to October 26, a brutal span of days where the future of the Pacific hung in the balance. By the time it was over, Japan had suffered catastrophic losses. Their ability to wage large-scale naval warfare was shattered, a turning point that would ultimately lead to their surrender. It's almost impossible to grasp the full scope of this battle. But think about this. If the entire population of a small town was suddenly put on a single aircraft carrier, you might start to get an idea of just how many people were involved in the Leyte Gulf battle. And every one of them played a part in reshaping history. The battle also marked a significant victory for the Allies, securing their invasion of the Philippines. With Japan's naval power weakened, the path was clear for the Allied forces to press onward. And so, as the sun set on October 26th, a new chapter in the Pacific theatre began. But the story of Leyte Gulf doesn't end with just numbers and tactics. It's about the human drama, the personal sacrifices, and the strategic brilliance that turn the tide of war. And as we delve deeper into this battle, you'll understand why it's considered one of history's greatest naval clashes. Before we begin, a small request. Most of the people listening tonight aren't subscribed. If this channel has ever helped you drift off, take a moment to subscribe. It's free, it helps this channel more than you'd think, and you can always change your mind later. And if you feel like it, leave a comment telling me where in the world you're listening from and what time it is where you are. I love reading them. One more thing before we begin. I'm also a co-founder of a sleep app built to be the most affordable one out there. No ads, ever. Just sounds and stories made to help you sleep. It may not be released yet as this video goes up, but if you're watching a little later, it might be out by now. Just search for it should be easy to find. It works on iPhone, Android, and everything in between. Downloading it is the best way to support this channel. The mastermind behind this operation was none other than Vice Admiral Jisaburo Ozawa, who commanded the Japanese Northern Force. Ozawa's role was crucial. He was tasked with drawing US attention away from the main Japanese forces, creating a diversion. Meanwhile, the heart of Japan's plan was to lure the US forces into a trap. This was no small task, the stakes were high. At the helm of this audacious plan stood Admiral Toyoda Soemu, who commanded the entire operation from afar. Toyoda's strategy was intricate. It involved multiple forces, each playing a distinct role in the grand design. For instance, the center force led by Vice Admiral Kurita Takeo included heavy cruisers and battleships, formidable units designed to wreak havoc. Ozawa's northern force, on the other hand, was comprised primarily of aircraft carriers, a force designed to bait the US into a chase. The intent behind this complex plan was clear. Japan sought to draw out and defeat the US Third Fleet in a decisive engagement. However, the battle did not unfold as planned for Japan. The strategic choices and tactical maneuvers during this critical juncture significantly weakened their naval power. As the US invasion of the Philippines proceeded, Japan's strategy faltered and they suffered catastrophic losses. This battle marked a pivotal moment in World War II, setting the stage for the Allied forces to secure their invasion of the Philippines. And as we continue to explore this epic battle, you'll see how every strategic move and tactical decision played a critical role in shaping the course of history. In the vast Pacific theatre of World War II, Admiral William F. Halsey Jr., a charismatic and tenacious commander, took charge of the US Third Fleet's Task Force 38. Under his command were some of the most formidable vessels in the Allied arsenal, mighty aircraft carriers like the USS Enterprise and the USS Intrepid, supported by an array of destroyers, cruisers, and battleships. Admiral Halsey's strategic choices would soon prove pivotal. His fleet, a potent mix of firepower and agility, was designed to project power across vast distances. This mobile striking force could quickly respond to any Japanese threat in the region. Complementing Halsey's Task Force 38 was Vice Admiral Thomas C. Kinkaid's Task Force 77, part of the US 7th Fleet. 7th Fleet! While Halsey's force was geared for speed and long-range strikes, Kinkaid's consisted of heavier ships designed to support amphibious landings. Together, these forces represented a formidable Allied presence in the Pacific, ready to face any challenge Japan could throw at them. But even with such powerful assets under their command, both Halsey and Kinkaid would have to make critical decisions under intense pressure. As the Battle of Leyte Gulf unfolded, these commanders' choices would shape not only the battle, but also the very course of the war in the Pacific. Meanwhile, on October 25, the Battle of Cape Engano began, involving US carriers and Japanese decoy forces led by Admiral Ozawa Jisaburo's Northern Force. This battle was a pivotal moment in the larger operation as it drew US attention away from the main Japanese forces. The most significant engagement during this phase was the Battle of Surigao Strait, fought between October 24 and 2044. This battle marked the last major ship-to-ship battle fought between battleships in history. During this battle, the Japanese battleship Fuso was sunk by US forces. This battle was crucial as it showcased the power and tactical prowess of the Allied navies, significantly weakening Japan's naval strength. The Battle of Samar on October 25 further highlighted US naval superiority with Task Force 77 under Admiral Thomas C. Kinkaid playing a critical role in repelling Japanese attacks. While the US Navy demonstrated its prowess at Samar, the Japanese Imperial Navy suffered severe losses that would forever alter their naval power. In particular, Japan lost two of its most formidable aircraft carriers, the Shokaku and the Zuikaku. These ships had played pivotal roles in earlier conflicts, including the Battle of Midway. Both carriers were among Japan's largest and most capable, designed to project power across vast distances in the Pacific. But at Leyte Gulf, they faced a relentless US offensive that left them no room for maneuvering. The Shokaku, already damaged in earlier battles, could not withstand the sustained onslaught and was sunk during the Battle of the Sibuyan Sea. The Zuikaku, though initially spared, was later targeted by carrier-based aircraft and sank off Cape Engano, marking the end of Japan's once mighty carrier fleet. Beyond these carriers, Japan lost several other significant vessels, including heavy cruisers and battleships. The sinking of the Shokaku and Zuikaku, along with other major ships, was a devastating blow that effectively ended Japan's power as a major naval force. These losses highlighted the strategic impact of the Battle of Leyte Gulf and underscored the human cost of the conflict. The Battle of Leyte Gulf was a critical turning point in the Pacific War, marked by strategic choices that would significantly impact the outcome of the conflict. The Northern Force included several aircraft carriers and was seen as a potential threat to Halsey's fleet. This move left the San Bernardino Strait and the invasion force at Leyte Gulf vulnerable to the Japanese center force, commanded by Vice Admiral Kurita Takeo. Kurita's force included heavy cruisers and battleships, posing a formidable threat to the Allied invasion efforts. The criticism against Halsey centered on his decision to pursue Ozawa's decoy force, which ultimately led to the sinking of key ships such as Gambier Bay and Howell during the Battle of Samar. On October 25, 1944, a small escort carrier group known as Task Unit 77.3 or Taffy 3 found itself facing off against a much larger Japanese force in the Battle of Samar. Taffy 3's composition was modest, consisting mostly of escort carriers such as the USS Gambier Bay, along with a few destroyers and destroyer escorts. Despite the disparity in firepower, Taffy 3 valiantly held its ground, with ships like USS Samuel B. Roberts and USS Johnston launching a spirited defense against the superior Japanese forces. The bravery of these sailors, in the face of overwhelming odds, underscored the resilience and tenacity of the Allied forces under intense pressure. Taffy 3's heroic stand at the Battle of Samar played a crucial role in buying time for the US Third Fleet, allowing them to regroup and eventually turn back the Japanese offensive. Their actions demonstrated that even against superior numbers, the Allied forces were capable of heroic resistance and strategic resilience. After the heroic resistance at Leyte Gulf, the Allied forces now faced a pivotal moment in their quest to secure the Pacific theatre. The immediate aftermath of the battle revealed the devastating extent of Japan's crippled naval capability. Japan's combined fleet, once a formidable force, was now severely weakened and in disarray. The Battle of Leyte Gulf not only halted Japan's plans to counter the American invasion, but also marked a significant turning point in the Pacific theatre of World War II. With their naval power crippled, Japan lost its ability to wage large-scale naval warfare, leaving them vulnerable and exposed. This strategic advantage secured by the Allies in the Pacific theatre had far-reaching implications. It reinforced the Allied control of the Pacific and paved the way for further operations against Japan. The loss of their naval power was a blow from which Japan struggled to recover. Ultimately, the aftermath of Leyte Gulf demonstrated the significance of this battle in shaping the outcome of World War II in the Pacific. Memorials such as the Garrison Memorial in Idaho honor the fallen servicemen like Robert Ray Smith, who fought bravely on ships like the USS Gambier Bay. The Battle of Samar, where small escort carriers like the USS Gambier Bay valiantly held off superior Japanese forces, showcases the bravery and resilience of Allied sailors. Memorials and historical accounts alike emphasize that without such sacrifices, the outcome of World War II might have been very different. The enduring legacy of Leyte Gulf is a testament to the courage and strategy that brought a pivotal victory for the Allied forces. In the lead-up to the Battle of Leyte Gulf, American submarines had been systematically attacking Japanese shipping in an effort to cut off vital supplies and resources. This strategy proved particularly effective in the Pacific theatre. During the Battle of Leyte Gulf, key submarine engagements occurred that significantly impacted Japanese naval operations. The USS Ceylon II and other submarines patrolled the Palawan Passage, attacking and sinking enemy ships. These attacks disrupted vital supply routes and demoralized Japanese sailors, making it harder for Japan to maintain its naval strength and support its forces in the field. The strategic importance of these submarine operations cannot be overstated. By targeting Japanese shipping, the US Navy was able to choke off vital resources and weaken Japan's ability to wage large-scale naval warfare. The impact of these submarine attacks on Japanese supply lines and morale was profound, leading to a significant weakening of Japan's naval power and ultimately securing the Allied victory in the Pacific. In this decisive moment, the role of submarine warfare cannot be underestimated. It demonstrated how strategic choices and tactical maneuvers could turn the tide of battle in favor of the Allied forces. This strategic use of various naval assets, including submarines, highlights the critical coordination needed to achieve such a decisive victory. Central to this strategy was the deployment of aircraft carriers, vessels that could launch and recover airplanes while underway. These floating airfields were pivotal for reconnaissance, strategic bombing, and tactical strikes against enemy forces. Notable among these were the strikes against Japanese carriers in the Battle of Cape Engano, which crippled Japan's air power and left them vulnerable. Reconnaissance planes played a crucial role in intelligence gathering, providing essential updates on enemy movements and positions. For instance, the spotting of Japanese forces approaching San Bernardino Strait led to timely defensive measures by US naval units. The integration of air power with traditional naval tactics significantly altered the course of the battle, contributing to a pivotal Allied victory. This strategic use of aircraft carriers and reconnaissance planes underscores how air power, when effectively integrated with naval tactics, can significantly alter the course of a battle. The Battle of Leyte Gulf serves as a testament to the transformative potential of air power in modern naval warfare. The Ultra program, an initiative to decipher Japanese communications, provided invaluable insights throughout the conflict. By intercepting and breaking down enemy signals, Allied forces could anticipate Japanese movements and counter their strategies effectively. One of the key moments was when intelligence revealed that Admiral Kurita's center force was advancing toward the invasion fleet in Leyte Gulf. With this knowledge, Allied forces could position themselves strategically to confront and weaken the Japanese attack. The Battle of Surigao Strait serves as a prime example of how intelligence was used to outmaneuver and defeat the enemy. During this engagement, Allied forces, armed with advanced knowledge, successfully ambushed the Japanese fleet, dealing a significant blow to their naval power. The success at Leyte Gulf demonstrated that advanced intelligence and communication intercepts could be pivotal in winning major naval engagements. The Allied victory at Leyte Gulf showcased how intelligence could turn the tide of war and significantly weaken Japan's naval power. In the end, it was not just brute force, but also strategic foresight and precise execution that brought about the crucial Allied triumph. Securing the Philippines was essential for the broader Allied strategy. The island nation served as a strategic gateway to Southeast Asia, a region rich in resources and vital to Japan's industrial war effort. Control of the Philippines meant disrupting Japan's supply chain and cutting off their access to crucial raw materials. Moreover, securing the Philippines was a significant psychological blow to Japan. It demonstrated that the once invincible Imperial Japanese Navy could be defeated, eroding morale and resolve on the home front. The implications of the battle extended beyond the immediate military victory. The loss at Leyte Gulf forced Japan to reassess its strategy, leading to desperate measures such as the increased use of kamikaze attacks. The strategic choices made during this critical battle paved the way for further Allied advances, culminating in the ultimate surrender of Japan and the end of the war in the Pacific. On both sides of the conflict, radar systems were employed to detect and track enemy vessels. For the Allied forces, these devices offered a significant advantage. Facing the much larger Japanese center force, radar allowed Taffy 3 to detect incoming threats before they were visible. This early detection enabled the US forces to launch timely counterattacks and evade devastating strikes from Japanese ships. The Battle off Cape Engano on October 25-26 further demonstrated the value of radar in a naval conflict. Allied carriers used radar to detect the decoy forces of Admiral Jisaburo Ozawa's northern force. This early detection prevented the Allied carriers from being lured into a trap, preserving their operational capacity. The technological superiority conferred by radar technology was a significant factor in the Allied victory. As the sun set on October 26, the Battle of Leyte Gulf came to a close, marking a decisive turning point in the Pacific Theater. The US Third Fleet, particularly Task Force 38 under Admiral Halsey, faced a logistical challenge unique to carrier operations. Fast-paced airstrikes and rapid maneuvers meant that carriers needed a constant supply of aviation fuel. The fleet's ability to project power hinged on maintaining a steady flow of fuel, often transported via tankers shadowing the main force. In the end, the battle was won not just on the sea, but also in the intricate planning rooms and fuel depots where logistics were meticulously managed. As day broke over Leyte Gulf on October 27, the strategic choices and tactical maneuvers that had unfolded over the previous days solidified the Allied victory, marking a pivotal moment in the Pacific theater of World War II. For the Allies, securing the Philippines was a significant step toward victory in the Pacific. The logistical planning that underpinned their operations laid the groundwork for future campaigns, highlighting the indispensable role of strategic foresight and resource management in achieving success on the battlefield. The Philippines, in October 1944, experienced typical tropical weather patterns with frequent rain showers and high humidity. These conditions impacted visibility, which was crucial for both surface ship operations and air support. Reduced visibility meant that ships relied more heavily on radar systems to navigate through the stormy seas. The Allied forces, aware of these weather challenges, made use of advanced radio communications to maintain situational awareness. In contrast, the Japanese forces faced additional difficulties with their reliance on older technology and less advanced radars. The stormy conditions also affected the deployment of air support. Frequent rain showers made it challenging for planes to take off and land safely. This limited the effectiveness of air-to-ship coordination, a critical factor in modern naval warfare. Despite these challenges, both sides pressed on with their respective strategies. With morale hanging in the balance, Admiral William F. Halsey Jr. made a fateful decision that would test the resolve of his troops. However, morale remained high among US troops, who trusted their commander's decisions despite the risks involved. Their resilience was a testament to the high morale and effective leadership within their ranks. Despite being outgunned and outnumbered, the crew of USS Gambier Bay fought bravely, inspiring their comrades to do the same. Their determination underscored the significance of morale in turning the tide of battle. The Battle of Leyte Gulf demonstrated that the human element, morale, leadership, and resilience was as crucial to victory as strategic prowess. It was not just ships and strategy that secured the Allied victory, it was also the indomitable spirit of those who served. As the battle drew to a close, morale among Allied troops remained steadfast, laying the foundation for further victories in the Pacific theater. Amphibious warfare was a crucial element in the strategic planning for the invasion of Leyte Gulf. Task Force 38's role was to provide air cover and neutralize Japanese air power, while Task Force 77 focused on supporting the amphibious landings. Coordination between these task forces was essential for ensuring that the beachheads were secure and well defended against counterattacks. The amphibious landings themselves involved precise planning and execution. Naval forces played a critical role in softening up the shore defences and providing continuous support during the landings. The strategic choice to use amphibious warfare allowed the Allied forces to maintain surprise and overwhelm Japanese defences. By securing key beachheads early on, the Allies could establish a firm foothold in the Philippines and protect their supply lines. This integrated approach across different military branches demonstrated the effectiveness of combined operations in warfare. The strategic choices made during the Battle of Leyte Gulf were pivotal in determining its outcome. Among these crucial decisions was the deployment of underwater demolition teams, or UDTs. UDTs played a vital role by clearing minefields and preparing beachheads for Allied landings. The task was fraught with danger, as these divers had to disarm mines in the dark, murky waters of Leyte Gulf. Despite the risks, their work was meticulous and precise, ensuring that each mine was neutralized safely. This coordinated effort with larger naval forces allowed for smooth landings and unimpeded movements of Allied troops and ships. The removal of these obstacles facilitated a critical advantage, making the beaches safe for landing craft and naval operations to follow. Without UDTs, the Allied landings could have been disastrous, with mines posing a significant threat to both personnel and equipment. Their efforts underscored the importance of these specialized teams in modern naval warfare. Part of this ambitious operation was the deployment of coastal artillery, strategically placed to defend against the anticipated Allied assault. These fortifications were designed to inflict significant damage on approaching enemy forces, buying time for Japan's main fleet to mobilize and launch a decisive counterattack. However, the Allies had prepared meticulously for this eventuality. Their strategy included a multi-pronged approach to neutralize these defensive positions, ensuring minimal casualties and maximum efficiency. Special teams were dispatched to systematically disable key Japanese coastal artillery batteries, using a combination of tactical maneuvers and precision strikes. The careful coordination between air and naval forces allowed the Allies to target these fortifications with pinpoint accuracy, minimizing collateral damage. By the end of the battle, many of Japan's coastal defenses had been rendered ineffective, significantly weakening their ability to repel the Allied invasion. The strategic choices and tactical maneuvers employed during the Battle of Leyte Gulf underscored the vital role of coastal artillery in modern naval warfare, demonstrating that even the most formidable defenses can be systematically dismantled with careful planning and execution. Task Force 38 under Admiral Halsey was tasked with neutralizing Japanese air power, while Task Force 77 under Admiral Kincaid focused on supporting the ground invasion. This division of labor allowed for concentrated efforts against specific targets. The planning phase involved detailed briefings on Japanese air capabilities and the identification of key targets. Aircraft were prepared for sorties that would aim to disrupt enemy communications and logistics. Meanwhile, Task Force 77 provided close air support to the ground troops, ensuring that enemy forces could not launch surprise attacks from the sea or sky. This coordinated effort between air and naval units was crucial in maintaining the element of surprise. The constant presence of Allied aircraft above Japanese forces also had a psychological impact, lowering morale and creating chaos within their ranks. This disruption in enemy operations further secured the Allies' advantage. Overall, the comprehensive air support secured the skies, allowing naval forces to maneuver freely without fear of aerial attacks. This control over the airspace was a decisive factor in the Allied victory. Beyond the visible horizon, as aircraft patrolled the skies, another crucial element of Allied strategy was unfolding in real time: intelligence from codebreaking. This wasn't just any ordinary data, it was ultra-intercepts decoded messages that revealed the Japanese naval plans. Among these crucial pieces of information was a message indicating that Japan's northern force would engage the Allied fleet. The surprise element for the Japanese forces was significant because they were unaware of the extent to which their communications had been compromised. While the Japanese admirals believed they were orchestrating a masterful strategic plan, their every move was being observed and anticipated by the Allies. As the battle raged on, each strategic choice made by Halsey and other Allied commanders was underpinned by this real-time intelligence. The effectiveness of Allied codebreaking underscored the importance of intelligence in modern warfare, setting a precedent for future conflicts. The US fleet's superiority in radar technology was a decisive factor. While the Japanese Navy possessed radar capabilities, their systems were less advanced and often used reactively rather than proactively. Conversely, the US ships boasted sophisticated radar that could detect incoming aircraft and surface vessels with remarkable precision, providing a critical edge in situational awareness. Meanwhile, the Japanese ship designs, while formidable, were hampered by reliance on traditional methods and older technologies. This was evident in the Battle of Surigao Strait, where Japan's heavy cruisers and battleships, despite their formidable firepower, were outmatched by the US fleet's technological superiority. However, It is crucial to note that technological advancements were not the sole determinant of victory. The valiant efforts of smaller task forces like Taffy 3 also played a significant role. The heroic stand of ships such as USS Gambier Bay and USS Johnston against superior Japanese forces underscores the importance of tactical ingenuity and human valor alongside technological superiority. In conclusion, while technological advancements provided a decisive edge, the Allied victory at Leyte Gulf was achieved through a synergistic combination of superior technology, strategic prowess, and sheer human courage. This demonstrated how technological superiority, when coupled with effective tactical maneuvers and unwavering bravery, could decisively turn the tide of war. This strategic choice allowed Japanese forces to pass through and attack the landing beaches in Leyte Gulf, highlighting a key difference in command hierarchy between the Allied and Japanese forces. Despite the Japanese plan's ambitious goal of luring and destroying the US Third Fleet, Admiral Halsey's strategic choices ultimately led to a pivotal victory for the Allies. This highlighted how command hierarchy and decision-making processes can profoundly influence the outcome of major military engagements. The significance of surprise attacks in weakening Japanese naval power cannot be understated. The Allied forces had to adapt rapidly, demonstrating the critical role that timing plays in military strategy and execution. In the end, it was the careful orchestration of events and the ability to react swiftly to unexpected developments that made this victory possible. The Battle of Leyte Gulf serves as a powerful reminder of the strategic significance of timing in warfare. As we look back at this historical moment, it's clear that the strategic importance of the battle's timeline was more than just a matter of chronology. It was the very heartbeat of victory. These underwater sentinels were tasked with the mission to disrupt Japanese supply lines and weaken their naval formations from within. Take, for example, the USS Ceylon II, one of the many subs that prowled the waters. This sinking disrupted the flow of vital supplies to the Japanese forces, creating a ripple effect that weakened their overall operational capability. Such operations by Allied submarines were not isolated incidents, but part of a systematic strategy. Their presence in the waters forced Japanese commanders to continually adapt their formations and routes. This constant disruption created an atmosphere of unpredictability and fear among the Japanese forces. By the end of October 26, when the dust settled and the final tally was counted, it became evident that the Allied submarines had played a pivotal role in weakening Japan's naval power. As the sun set on this historic battle, it was clear that the strategic choices and tactical maneuvers of the Allied forces had brought them one step closer to victory. And in that quiet moment of reflection, the true heartbeat of their victory could be heard, the silent prowess of the Allied submarines. Their unyielding pursuit and strategic disruptions were the silent allies that turned the tide of war. As the battle unfolded, Allied communications networks hummed with life. Advanced radio technology facilitated coordination between different branches of the Allied forces, ensuring that every strategic decision and tactical maneuver was swiftly relayed across vast distances. Effective communication was crucial during this engagement, allowing the Allies to coordinate their defense and mitigate the numerical superiority of the Japanese fleet. The use of advanced radio technology ensured that every strategic command and tactical adjustment could be swiftly relayed and executed. In a calm and decisive manner, each unit of the Allied forces knew exactly what role to play and when, thanks to the robust and reliable communication systems in place. As the sun rose on October 26, the Allied forces had secured a pivotal victory, demonstrating how efficient and effective communication systems can turn the tide of war. With the sunrise on October 26th, it became clear that the Allied forces had achieved a decisive victory at Leyte Gulf. This triumph was not just about superior firepower or strategic maneuvers. It hinged significantly on another crucial aspect: logistics and resupply efforts. As the battle raged on, maintaining an efficient supply chain across vast distances was a formidable challenge. The Allied fleet stretched out over thousands of miles, requiring meticulous coordination to keep ships fueled, armed, and operational. The vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean meant that supplies had to traverse immense distances, often under perilous conditions. Despite these challenges, Allied logistics and resupply operations proved remarkably effective. Fleets of cargo ships worked tirelessly to ensure that critical resources like ammunition and fuel were replenished during intense battles. For instance, in the heat of combat, when ships ran low on ammunition, supply vessels swiftly delivered fresh stocks. This continuous flow of supplies was pivotal in allowing Allied forces to maintain their advantage during prolonged engagements. Fuel replenishment was another critical area where logistics excelled. As ships consumed vast amounts of fuel in their operations, tankers were swiftly dispatched to refill their reserves. This seamless resupply process was not just a matter of efficiency, it was a testament to the strategic foresight and planning that went into preparing for such a massive operation. The Allied forces had anticipated the rigors of battle and put in place robust systems to ensure that no frontline ship would run out of critical supplies. Effective logistics ensured that every vessel could operate at peak performance, ready to face the next wave of attacks or counterattacks. With ample supplies and fuel at their disposal, Allied forces could maintain an unyielding presence, ultimately leading to the decisive victory at Leyte Gulf. Their ability to resupply and replenish under pressure was a crucial element that enabled the Allies to sustain their operations and maintain their strategic advantage. As the Allied forces moved to secure Leyte Gulf, they faced a formidable challenge: Japanese coastal defences meticulously designed to impede their advancement. Fortifications along the coastline included heavily mined areas and strategically placed artillery positions, designed to slow down and disrupt Allied landing operations. Minefields were laid out with precision, aiming to deter and destroy approaching ships before they could reach the shore. Coastal artillery batteries, camouflaged within the terrain, presented a hidden threat capable of inflicting significant damage on Allied vessels. These defensive measures forced the Allies to employ careful strategic maneuvers and tactical adaptations to mitigate their impact. By deploying specialized minesweeping units and coordinating aerial reconnaissance, the Allies began to systematically clear paths through these hazardous areas. Simultaneously, naval bombardments targeted the artillery positions, aiming to neutralize their firepower before the main landing operations commenced. Despite these challenges, the Allies' ability to adapt and overcome these defensive measures played a crucial role in securing their foothold on Leyte Island. While the Allied forces were adapting to Japanese defensive measures, another critical element of their strategy was unfolding: Allied reconnaissance. This reconnaissance played a pivotal role in shaping the Allies' strategic choices and tactical maneuvers during the Battle of Leyte Gulf. PBY Catalina aircraft, known for their versatility and endurance, were crucial in spotting Japanese forces. These planes would often fly over vast areas of the Pacific, scanning for any signs of enemy activity. Their ability to remain aloft for extended periods made them invaluable for reconnaissance missions. From high above, they could detect movements that might otherwise go unnoticed on the ground. In addition to aircraft, Allied submarines played a significant role in intelligence gathering. These submarines would often operate undetected near Japanese naval formations, relaying crucial information about the enemy's movements and intentions. The data collected by these submarines was invaluable in understanding the scope and scale of the Japanese forces. It provided a clearer picture of where and how strong the enemy was. Radar detection also proved to be an indispensable tool in this battle. By providing real-time information on approaching aircraft, radar allowed Allied ships to react swiftly and effectively. This combination of aerial surveillance, submarine intelligence, and advanced detection systems gave the Allies an edge in anticipating and countering Japanese maneuvers. Without the meticulous work of these reconnaissance units, the Battle of Leyte Gulf might have unfolded very differently. As the battle intensified, Japanese submarines played a crucial role in distracting and diverting Allied forces. Their presence forced commanders to allocate resources towards anti-submarine warfare, diluting the focus on other critical fronts of the battle. In the Battle of the Sibuyan Sea, Japanese submarines engaged in ambush tactics, targeting Allied carriers and support vessels. Although they inflicted damage, their impact was limited due to advanced Allied detection systems and swift countermeasures. Their greatest contribution came in disrupting communication lines and logistical supply routes, creating chaos within the Allied ranks. This forced commanders to make rapid adjustments and redeployments, adding unpredictability and complexity to the battlefield dynamics. Despite their significant disruptions, Japanese submarines faced formidable opposition from Allied destroyers and escort carriers. The constant threat of these underwater predators necessitated a continuous state of vigilance among the Allied forces. Their presence underscored the multifaceted nature of the battle, where both surface forces and covert submarine operations played vital roles. It highlighted the necessity for Allied commanders to maintain a dynamic and adaptive strategy in response to evolving threats. Their presence added another layer of complexity to the battle, illustrating how both sides continually adapted to each other's moves. This dynamic interplay showcases the strategic depth and tactical prowess exhibited by the combatants in this pivotal engagement. As the battle intensified, both sides recognized the critical role of destroyers in their naval strategies. These smaller, faster ships were essential for their agility and speed in open waters. The Japanese employed their destroyers to execute hit-and-run tactics, aiming to disrupt the Allied supply lines and create confusion among the enemy forces. Meanwhile, Allied destroyers were deployed in escort roles, providing crucial protection for the larger ships against torpedo attacks and enemy aircraft. Destroyers were particularly effective due to their armaments, which included high-speed torpedoes and anti-aircraft guns. Their swiftness made them formidable in close combat situations. During the Battle of Cape Engano, Japanese destroyers played a pivotal role in attempting to lure Allied forces away from the main invasion area. This diversion allowed for a surprise attack on the Allied transport ships. In response to these threats, American destroyers were vital in defending the supply convoys and ensuring the safe delivery of reinforcements and supplies to the front lines. Their speed and maneuverability were invaluable in repelling enemy attacks, contributing significantly to the overall success of the Allied fleet's defensive strategy. The strategic use of destroyers in both offensive and defensive roles underscores their importance in naval combat, highlighting the critical balance between speed and firepower. In the context of larger naval battles like Leyte Gulf, these smaller, faster ships proved to be indispensable assets in executing intricate fleet maneuvers and safeguarding key strategic points. Their agility and rapid response capabilities allowed them to adapt swiftly to changing battle conditions, making them pivotal in both offensive operations and defensive shielding. Ultimately, the strategic employment of destroyers by both Allied and Japanese forces showcases how smaller, faster ships can have a disproportionate impact on the outcome of major naval engagements. The Japanese had strategically placed their coastal defense artillery around key locations on Leyte Island, anticipating an invasion from the sea. These batteries were designed to target approaching Allied ships, creating a formidable barrier that could potentially disrupt the invasion plans. One notable engagement involved the USS New Jersey, which sustained damage from Japanese coastal artillery as it supported the landing operations. The USS New Jersey's experience highlighted the effectiveness of these defensive measures, which forced Allied ships to operate with increased caution. In response, the Allies had to adapt their invasion strategies, sometimes rerouting or delaying their approach to avoid these well-positioned artillery batteries. This strategic dance between coastal defense and invading forces underscored the integrated nature of naval and land-based defenses in the battle's broader context. Ultimately, the careful navigation through these defensive lines allowed the Allies to secure their foothold and maintain momentum in their campaign against Japan. Halsey, believing that the capture of Ozawa's carriers would deal a decisive blow to Japan's naval power, pursued this decoy force. This decision left San Bernardino Strait unguarded. Meanwhile, Allied intercepts also alerted Admiral Thomas C. Kinkaid's 7th Fleet to the advance of Vice Admiral Kurita Takeo's center force through the Palawan Passage and into the Sibuyan Sea. Despite significant damage during air raids, Kurita's force managed to slip past the Allied defenses and head for Leyte Gulf, This movement was tracked through real-time intercepts, which allowed Kinkaid to prepare his forces. On the morning of October 25, as Kurita's battleships and cruisers approached Surigao Strait, intercepted messages indicated their intention to launch a devastating attack on the invasion fleet. This intelligence allowed Kinkaid to position his forces strategically. The Battle of Surigao Strait saw the Japanese force heavily bombarded by Allied ships and aircraft. After the decisive defeat at Surigao Strait, Kurita retreated, but not before causing significant damage to Allied ships. Real-time intercepts continued to track his movements and intentions. Their heroism bought time for the rest of the fleet to regroup. Gambia Bay was sunk during this battle, a stark illustration of how real-time intelligence can significantly impact military operations. In the end, it was Allied intercepts that provided the crucial edge needed to secure a decisive victory at Leyte Gulf. In these battles, Allied forces employed mines to block key channels and disrupt supply lines, severely constraining Japanese operational capabilities. By strategically placing mines in crucial waterways, the Allies effectively blocked vital paths that the Japanese forces needed to traverse. This mine warfare tactic forced Japanese ships to either bypass these critical routes or risk destruction, significantly hampering their maneuvers. One notable example is the Battle off Samar, where mines played a pivotal role in disrupting Japanese supply lines and limiting their strategic options. The strategic value of defensive measures like mine warfare became evident as Japanese forces struggled to navigate through blocked channels and were forced into disadvantageous positions. These defensive tactics significantly contributed to the Allies' victory at Leyte Gulf by limiting Japanese actions and forcing them into sub-optimal maneuvers. The Battle of Surigao Strait further underscored the impact of mine warfare as Japanese battleships and heavy cruisers faced intense Allied resistance and significant losses. Overall, the use of mines in blocking key channels and disrupting supply lines demonstrated the strategic importance of defensive measures that can significantly constrain enemy actions. Highlighting the strategic value of defensive tactics in limiting Japanese movements and operational capabilities was a key factor in securing victory at Leyte Gulf. Ultra-intelligence, a code name for the British decryption of German Enigma and Japanese Purple machines, proved to be a game-changer. These messages revealed the Japanese fleet's intentions and movements, providing the Allies with crucial advanced knowledge. For instance, intercepted messages detailing the movements of Admiral Kurita's center force allowed the Allies to anticipate and counter Japanese maneuvers. This intelligence enabled Admiral Halsey to make strategic decisions that turned the tide of the battle. Without ultra-intelligence, the Allies would have been navigating in the dark, and the outcome of the battle could have been very different. The advantage provided by ultra-intelligence was pivotal in securing a decisive victory at Leyte Gulf. This demonstrated how advanced intelligence gathering can provide a critical advantage in military operations. However, innovative destroyer tactics employed by the Allies proved pivotal in turning the tide. The destroyer USS Samuel B. Roberts, DE-413, and others like it, launched daring torpedo attacks against superior Japanese forces. These attacks were a crucial part of the Allied strategy to disrupt and damage the enemy's formations. The destroyer USS Johnston, DD-55-7, valiantly fought against overwhelming odds, contributing significantly to the Allied victory despite being sunk. Yet, these destroyer operations were essential in countering Japanese advances and providing time for the Allied invasion forces to consolidate. Without these innovative destroyer tactics, the Allied victory might have been far more uncertain. This pivotal engagement highlighted how well-executed destroyer operations could turn the tide in a conflict as vast and complex as World War II. Japanese forces, in particular, were adept at laying minefields in key areas such as the approaches to Leyte Gulf, intending to hinder American advancements and supply deliveries. These mines, often planted under the cover of darkness or amidst decoy operations, could turn a routine patrol into a deadly gamble, forcing Allied ships to navigate cautiously. The Allies, however, were not without their countermeasures. Advanced mine-sweeping operations and sophisticated detection equipment were deployed to clear these hidden threats from the sea. Teams of skilled sailors and specialized ships, equipped with cutting-edge technology, scoured the waters for any signs of these submerged dangers. Their meticulous efforts were crucial in ensuring that vital supply routes remained open and secure, despite the looming threat of mines. As the battle progressed, the strategic deployment and subsequent neutralization of these deadly weapons played a pivotal role in shaping naval movements and ultimately the outcome of the engagement. By effectively reducing the mobility of Japanese forces and safeguarding Allied supply chains, the strategic use of mines and countermeasures significantly weakened Japan's naval power. In this crucial engagement, both Allied and Japanese forces deployed a variety of torpedoes that played significant roles in determining the outcomes of key engagements. The US Navy utilized Mark 14 and Mark 15 torpedoes, renowned for their reliability and effectiveness in shallower waters. On the other side, the Imperial Japanese Navy employed Type 93 long-lance torpedoes, known for their exceptional range and explosive power. Despite their potency, the long-lance torpedoes faced operational challenges due to their complexity and the need for precise targeting conditions. These innovations in torpedo technology not only altered the dynamics of naval warfare, but also influenced tactical decisions and overall strategy. In retrospect, the Allies' mastery over advanced torpedo technology contributed to their naval superiority during the Battle of Leyte Gulf, significantly weakening Japan's naval power. The use of decoys was a critical component of their strategies. For the Allies, creating the illusion of a larger force served as a powerful deterrent against Japanese aggression. Ozawa's northern force consisted of several aircraft carriers, but they were old and lightly armoured, designed to act as bait for the Allied carriers. During this engagement, Allied submarines played a crucial role in disrupting Japanese plans. The USS Dace and USS Haddock sank two heavy cruisers, the Otago and Maya, severely hindering Kurita's advance. In conclusion, the Battle of Leyte Gulf highlighted the strategic brilliance and tactical sophistication of both Allied and Japanese forces as they employed decoys to outmaneuver each other in a complex dance on the high seas. The use of decoy tactics, combined with innovative naval strategies, underscored the significance of deception and strategic planning in achieving a decisive victory. Naval gunnery played a crucial role in the Battle of Leyte Gulf, particularly in key engagements like the Battle off Samar. The effective use of artillery determined battle outcomes and influenced the strategic choices made by commanders on both sides. Despite being outnumbered, the Taffy 3 fleet demonstrated remarkable resilience and tactical prowess. Their effective use of naval gunnery turned the tide against the Japanese forces, highlighting the importance of accurate fire control systems in determining battle results. Beyond the immediate impact, the lessons learned from this battle emphasized the critical role of naval gunnery in securing victory. Accurate and strategic deployment of artillery became a cornerstone of Allied naval tactics moving forward. As the battle unfolded, each well-placed shot from the Allied fleet served to demoralize the Japanese forces and reinforce the strategic significance of naval gunnery in combat. This effectiveness in artillery highlighted the importance of tactical decisions in achieving a decisive victory. The Battle off Samar demonstrated that even against overwhelming odds, precise and calculated use of naval gunnery could alter the course of battle. This pivotal engagement underscored the critical role of accurate fire control systems in weakening Japan's naval power. Among these, the Battle of Surigao Strait stands out for its strategic importance and the role played by Allied cruisers. The USS Canberra, along with other cruisers, executed precise maneuvers that disrupted Japanese formations and neutralized key assets. These tactical innovations were essential to the Allies' strategy of weakening Japan's naval power. Their valiant efforts in the face of overwhelming odds underscored the crucial role cruisers played in disrupting Japanese naval operations. The strategic deployment and maneuvers of these vessels significantly undermined Japan's naval strategy. The Battle of Leyte Gulf marked a pivotal moment in the Pacific theater, demonstrating the critical importance of innovative naval tactics in achieving victory. Escort carriers played a pivotal role in the Battle of Leyte Gulf, notably during the intense engagement at Samar. Their agile maneuvers and critical air support made them invaluable assets amidst the larger strategic battle plan. With larger fleet carriers absent or reassigned elsewhere in the sprawling battle, escort carriers like Kit Kun Bay became crucial for maintaining air superiority. Their compact design allowed them to deploy closer to the action without drawing undue attention. The Kit Kun Bay's aircraft, launching from its relatively short deck, were pivotal in harassing and disrupting the Japanese forces. These attacks were not just symbolic, they were strategic, creating a continuous threat that forced Kurita to reassess his advance. Though the Kit Kun Bay and other escort carriers suffered losses, USS Gambier Bay and USS Johnston were both sunk in this engagement. Their sacrifice was not in vain. Their efforts allowed larger American forces to regroup and counterattack. The Battle of Samar demonstrated how even smaller vessels could have outsized impacts on the course of a major battle. As Kurita's center force retreated, it became clear that escort carriers were not mere adjuncts, but key players in the Allied victory. Their role at Leyte Gulf highlighted a critical shift in naval strategy, one where adaptability and swift action from smaller units could decisively alter the larger strategic landscape. This victory was not just a triumph of force, but also of clever deployment and tactical ingenuity, showcasing how even in vast naval battles, small yet capable units can significantly tilt the balance. The Allies' ability to intercept and decode Japanese communications, known as ultra-intelligence, proved invaluable during the Battle of Leyte Gulf. On the eve of the battle, intercepted messages revealed that Admiral Jisaburo Ozawa's northern force consisted of several aircraft carriers, but with few experienced pilots and no surface escorts. This crucial intelligence alerted Vice Admiral Thomas C. Kincaid's Task Force 77 to the impending threat, enabling them to prepare a counterattack. This continuous flow of information allowed Allied ships to coordinate their attacks with precision, leading to the sinking of several Japanese vessels, including the battleship Fuso. Despite being outgunned and outnumbered, Taffy 3 valiantly held off the Japanese center force, using their knowledge of enemy positions and tactics. Their heroic defense bought time for the main Allied force to regroup and ultimately turn the tide of the battle. With the battle won, the Allies could now focus on consolidating their gains and preparing for the final push to end the war in the Pacific. In October 1944, the Allied forces were poised to launch one of the most pivotal naval battles in history, Leyte Gulf. This strategic engagement would be crucial for weakening Japan's navy and securing the invasion of the Philippines. While the Allied forces were preparing for their invasion of Leyte Gulf, a crucial advantage lay hidden in the form of advanced signal intelligence. By intercepting and decoding Japanese signals, Allied forces could gain insights into enemy plans and troop positions. This intelligence was invaluable in shaping their strategic choices. The breaking of Japanese codes, such as those used by the Imperial Navy, allowed Allied commanders to stay one step ahead of their adversaries. This was particularly crucial during large-scale naval engagements like Leyte Gulf. For instance, the ability to decipher Japanese communications enabled Allied forces to predict movements of the center force and the northern force during the battle. This foresight helped in positioning Allied fleets more effectively. Advanced SIGINT also revealed vital information about Japanese fleet strengths and weaknesses, informing tactical maneuvers that could exploit these vulnerabilities. The knowledge gained from SIGINT not only strengthened the Allied response, but also weakened Japan's naval power by revealing critical operational details that could be exploited. As the Allied forces looked back on this pivotal moment, it was clear that their triumph was not only a testament to their bravery, but also to their mastery of intelligence warfare. In the vast expanse of Leyte Gulf, a critical layer of Allied strategy lay hidden beneath the waves, minefields. These underwater obstacles were meticulously laid out to impede Japanese naval forces and control key waterways. The US Navy had carefully surveyed the area, plotting out zones where mines could be most effective. By placing these deadly obstacles in choke points and along likely invasion routes, they aimed to slow down or even stop Japanese vessels from advancing. One such zone was the Surigao Strait, a narrow passage that led directly to the landing beaches at Leyte Gulf. Allied mines were densely packed here, designed to create chaos and disruption among any Japanese forces attempting to push through. The Japanese fleet suffered significant setbacks as mines detonated beneath their hulls, causing damage and forcing some ships to change course or even turn back. This disruption played a crucial role in disrupting the coordinated attack that Japan had planned. The impact was not merely physical, but also psychological. The threat of hidden mines added an element of unpredictability and fear, making Japanese commanders wary and cautious in their maneuvers. While the minefields alone could not decide the battle's outcome, they significantly hindered Japanese efforts, slowing down the advance and weakening their forces. This strategic hindrance bought valuable time for Allied forces to regroup and mount a more effective defense. In the broader context, the strategic use of minefields underscored the Allies' mastery of intelligence warfare. By anticipating enemy movements and preparing the battlefield accordingly, they demonstrated a deep understanding of naval tactics and an unwavering commitment to victory. In the calm after the storm, it became clear that the Allied victory was not just a testament to bravery on the open seas, but also to their meticulous and effective planning beneath them. Minefields, in their unassuming way, had altered the battle's trajectory, contributing significantly to a triumph that would reshape the Pacific theatre and ultimately lead to Japan's surrender. Beyond the visible clashes of metal and steam, another critical front was being waged, one that would ensure the success of the Allied fleet's movements. Anti-submarine warfare, ASWs, played a pivotal role in protecting the vital shipping lanes and supporting fleet operations during the Battle of Leyte Gulf. To understand the significance of ASW in this battle, consider that Japan's submarines were a formidable threat capable of sinking or damaging ships without detection. The Allies employed a mix of active and passive anti-submarine tactics to mitigate this danger. Passive measures included equipping ships with sophisticated sonar systems that could detect enemy submarines even in the murky depths of the Pacific. Active tactics involved the use of destroyer escorts and aircraft patrols to create a protective barrier around the fleet, effectively reducing the risk of surprise attacks from below. These destroyer escorts and aircraft not only served as scouts, but also carried depth charges to target and eliminate any detected submarines. Perhaps the most innovative aspect of Allied ASW strategy was the deployment of hunter-killer groups. These specialized task forces consisted of fast anti-submarine warships and escort carriers designed to hunt down and destroy enemy submarines. The presence of these groups significantly reduced the Japanese submarine fleet's operational effectiveness, as any detected submarine faced immediate and formidable countermeasures. Moreover, the Allies' comprehensive approach to ASW ensured that their fleet movements remained secure and unimpeded by submarine threats. This strategic advantage allowed the Allied forces to focus on other critical aspects of the battle, ultimately contributing to their decisive victory. The Battle of Leyte Gulf stands as a testament to the critical role that anti-submarine warfare can play in determining the outcome of major military engagements. The Allies, cognizant of the vulnerabilities exposed by past conflicts, deployed advanced radar systems that provided unparalleled situational awareness. These systems could detect Japanese aircraft and ships from a remarkable distance, offering crucial time for strategic maneuvers. One of the key technologies utilized was the sophisticated radar jamming equipment. By emitting electronic signals that could disrupt Japanese radar operations, these devices significantly impaired the enemy's ability to track Allied movements. Additionally, the Allies employed sophisticated techniques such as active and passive electronic countermeasures. These measures could effectively blind Japanese radar systems, making it exceedingly difficult for them to locate Allied ships and launch precise attacks. Moreover, the real-time data provided by these radar systems allowed for swift and decisive responses. In the Battle of Surigao Strait, Allied ships were able to detect incoming Japanese forces well in advance, giving them ample time to prepare and position themselves optimally. Perhaps the most striking example of how radar technology tilted the balance is evident in the battle off Samar. Despite facing a significantly larger Japanese force, the Allied task units were able to hold their ground and even inflict heavy losses thanks to the superior situational awareness provided by their radar systems. These sophisticated technologies allowed the Allied task units to anticipate and intercept kamikaze attacks before they could inflict significant damage. Equipped with these radar systems, the Allied forces were able to maintain a heightened state of readiness during crucial engagements such as the Battle of Samar. The use of proximity-fused shells further bolstered the Allies' anti-aircraft capabilities. These shells were designed to detonate when near enemy aircraft, maximizing their lethality. During the Battle of Surigao Strait, the Allied ships' anti-aircraft fire proved decisive in warding off Japanese aerial assaults. The combination of radar detection and proximity-fused shells enabled the Allied forces to effectively counter the kamikaze threat, enhancing their overall strategic advantage. The lessons learned from this pivotal battle continue to shape military tactics today, as the ability to neutralize aerial threats remains a critical component of any successful operation. In the vast expanse of the Pacific, control over key coastal points can spell the difference between victory and defeat in naval warfare. The role of coastal defense artillery was pivotal in protecting the Allied invasion fleet as it made its way into Leyte Gulf. These fortifications provided a critical shield against potential Japanese counterattacks. The Battle of Surigao Strait saw the Japanese center force under Vice Admiral Kurita Takeo attempting to break through the Allied lines. However, their advance was met with a formidable defensive line that included coastal defense artillery. The Allies had positioned their ships to maximize the effectiveness of this shore-based firepower. With these defenses in place, the Japanese center force suffered significant losses, including the sinking of the battleship Fuso. Their efforts were critical in preventing the Japanese from launching a more devastating attack on the invasion fleet. In both the Battle of Surigao Strait and the Battle of Samar, the strategic importance of coastal defense artillery became abundantly clear. The ability to maintain control over key coastal points allowed the Allies to protect their invasion fleet and ultimately secure a pivotal victory. As the tide of war turned, the lessons from Leyte Gulf underscored the enduring significance of coastal defense in naval strategy.